Colors are an essential part of styling a website with CSS. So let us learn how to use them. Have a look at this code. It defines a color in the most simple way, by using the name of the color. In this case, it's red. But there is a huge number of color names you could use. Basic ones like red, green or blue, but also fancy ones like tomato or salmon. But there are more ways to define colors in CSS. For example, RGB colors. By using RGB colors, you have total control over the color you want to display. RGB colors are mixed by values of the three primary colors red, green and blue. For example, if we mix red and blue, we will receive purple. CSS code for defining RGB colors looks like that. The RGB function has three different values. The first one for the red part of the color, the second one for the green, and the third one for the blue portion of the color. The values range from 0 to 255. But we can also use percentage values to define RGB colors, ranging from 0 to 100%. Have a look at both of these color definitions. They both define the same color, and this color is red. By using the RGB notation, you can define any color you want. Check out these examples to better understand it. Hex codes are another way to represent RGB colors. Have a look at this hex code. It represents the color red. Similar to RGB colors, hex colors consist of three different values. The first two characters encode the red value as a hex number. FF is just 255 in the hex system. The next two characters encode the green value of the color. And the last two characters define the value for the blue portion of the color. Next we're going to have a quick look at the HSL color notation. HSL colors consist of three different values: hue, saturation and lightness. In simple words, the hue value defines the base color, like red, green or blue. The saturation determines the intensity of the color, and the brightness or lightness defines how bright the color should be. Okay, let's jump into the code and practice a little bit. I have prepared a simple HTML page containing three text paragraphs. And now we want to practice how to set the color of the text paragraphs by using the color names. The first text paragraph will be red. So let's use the style attribute to set the color to red. Let's open the browser, and as you can see, the first text paragraph appears in red. Let's repeat this step and set the color of the second text paragraph to green. And another time for the third text paragraph, this time we set it to blue. Check out the browser. Now we have three text paragraphs, one in red, one in green and one in blue. Now we want to do the same thing, defining a red text paragraph, but this time we are going to use external CSS and the different color notations like RGB or hex colors. Let's start by defining the color by using the color name, just as we have done before when we used inline CSS. We have a paragraph and we assign the class red text to it. Now we head to our CSS file and we are going to write the CSS code for this class. We just set the color to red. And if we've done everything right, the browser will show a red text. Next, we're going to practice how to use the RGB notation to set the color to red. So let's use another class selector, red text RGB, which we will use to set the color using the RGB notation. But first, let's have a look at the color picker of our code editor. To open the color picker, just click on the red color next to line 2. The color picker shows us the values for the RGB notation, but also for the hex notation. Okay, so let's set the color to red by using RGB. The first value will be 255, the second value 0, and the third value 0 as well. In our HTML file, let's change the class to red text RGB and have a look at the browser. We will have another red text. Next, we're going to repeat the step to practice HSL colors. We add a class red text HSL and set the color to red by using HSL. And finally, we're using hex colors to set the text to red. We create another CSS rule with the class selector red text hex, and we're setting the text color to red by using the hex notation. The next thing we're going to learn is color opacity. You can add an alpha channel to any color to make it transparent. Maybe you have two HTML elements layered on top of each other and you want the color of the lower element shine through. So let's define a container and set the background color to blue. Have a look at the browser and you will see the text paragraph appearing in a blue container. Next, let's change the color of the paragraph to white to increase the contrast. Let's set the background color of the paragraph to red by using the RGB notation. the blue color of the container will disappear because the text paragraph and its red color overlays the container below it. Now we want the blue color of the container shine through, so we are using the RGBA color notation to define a RGB color with an alpha channel. The fourth value is used for the alpha channel, and the lower the value, the more transparent the color is. Let's set the height of the container to 500 pixels quickly and decrease the alpha value to 0.5, and we will see that both colors will blend into each other and create a purple. Now, if we set the alpha value to a really low number like 0.1, the red color will almost disappear. Another way to change how transparent or opaque an element is by using the opacity CSS property. If we set a really low value, the whole text paragraph will disappear because it is applied to the whole element and not only to the background color. Okay, we have reached the end of this video. I hope you liked it and learned a lot. To support me, please make sure to give the video a like and subscribe to the channel to not miss out on any content about learning to code. So have a great day and happy coding!